Any other questions for Ivan?
Well, I might ask one more. Are you familiar with the green banks in Montgomery County and in the District of Columbia?
Yes,
Would it
we
be
do work
worth,
with them, particularly in DC. So they're a client of ours, and both we collaborate on lending, but we're also where they're not an actual bank. They're a finance authority, and they need a bank to operate out of. And so they went through an RFP process, and proud to say that they chose Amalgamated. So we work with them since they were getting off the ground. And they're great.
do you think that would you imagine that it would be appropriate for us to approach those two green banks in trying to work together on advancing their programs locally?
I honestly, I don't. And the reason being that, they're, first of all, they're very busy right now because they're going to get a lot of this $27 billion. There's the Solar for All program, and there's several different programs that are going to flow through these green banks. And they are very busy trying to develop the deals and the projects and the infrastructure to be able to handle all that responsibly and turn that money around out the door. And so I think it's hard from a citizen, just regular citizen perspective, to kind of be helpful in that process, right? They're spending their time talking to clean energy developers and other financial partners. And so unless you're kind of coming with that kind of expertise, it's going to be hard to solve the problems that they have or the challenges that they have. But I think they're both creatures of public bodies in the district, the DC Council, and in the administration, and the same in Montgomery County. And so I think if there's ever an opportunity to show your support for what they're doing to the political leadership in those jurisdictions, then that's a good thing to do. All right, I know you've been very patient, but I know Ted's got another agenda to get to, and it's almost 10 o'clock here. So I'm gonna I'm gonna have dinner
Wow.
and beat a hasty retreat.
Wow.
But it's I'm all screwed up. I had lunch at 4 o'clock, and I'm not complaining because I was able to have lunch in Venice, so it's not a problem. But but thank you again for the opportunity. I love these kind of conversations, and I love the work you're doing, and so really, really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Ivan. We really, really appreciate having you. And go get your good dinner wherever that is. I'm sure it's not too late for a dinner out and maybe a little glass of wine. And again, thank you so much for your interesting presentation. And we will be in touch with you. And best of luck with your work overseas.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Have a good night, everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ivan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ivan. Wow, that's all I can say. I didn't realize he hadn't eaten dinner yet. I thought he had a lot of insightful things to say. And as usual, the question and answer period is oftentimes the most interesting part of a person's presentation. That's pretty much it for the general meeting portion of the annual meeting. I just wanted to close by saying thank you all for attending and participating in Climate First's 11th annual meeting. We've hoped that you've learned something about the strategies that we and other climate groups across the country used to move the top 4 climate polluting banks in the world: Chase, Citibank, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America. We're just trying to get them to divest, at least start divesting from fossil fuels and fully embrace clean energy. And it's a very challenging task. We are making some progress. It's just not fast enough, as I tell just about everybody I know when they ask me about the climate issue. We encourage you to further investigate ethical and green banking as a way to invest your monies in a sustainable manner. And we also encourage you to join, and many of you already have joined our actions and events. And if you're calling from another place, like my brother from Maine, his wife and he, work with some climate group up there, which he's doing. And anyway, wherever you are, just find a climate group that you're very comfortable with, and try and help them do their work. You will be getting an email from Climate First in the next day or two, asking for feedback regarding the meeting, as well as with a link to the recording of the meeting. And we really appreciate the feedback, because we just try to improve, always try to get better at what we do, whether it's running an annual meeting or running a bank action at the local Chase Bank. Any other issues or concerns that people want to bring up tonight, or this afternoon, I should say?
I was just wondering if you, Ted, think it would be appropriate to ask among the group here if there are people who would be willing to join us on the board, because we have an opportunity to expand the board, and we would very much like to have a somewhat larger group to represent more good ideas and initiative. So if anyone is interested in participating in the board, I think that we would be happy to hear of your interest and availability.
Well, thank you, Mr. Vice President. We appreciate that. Fred's Vice President of the Board of Directors. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for coming, and we hope to see and hear from you in the near future about any questions or concerns you have about the climate issue, or being on our board, or whatever. It's been a really interesting meeting, and I tell you, I did learn a lesson at the start of the meeting. You always gotta get your computer set up maybe a half hour, even an hour before. And that's why we got so far behind. But I think everything worked out fine, and Ivan was a great keynote speaker. So we're very, very lucky to have had him speak this afternoon, tonight, his time, actually. All right, folks, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, Ted.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.